Dynamic brace sight is a crucial yet often overlooked factor when it comes to accuracy. Now, to understand what is dynamic brace sight, we first need to understand what is static brace sight. Static brace sight is the distance basically from your string to the grip. This is what they use when they advertise the bows and also when they compare one bow to another bow. Dynamic brace sight is the distance from your grip to where the string comes off your cam. So if you basically have it on full draw in a draw board and you put a string from the top to the bottom where the string comes off the cam and you measure that distance from the string to the grip, that's your dynamic brace sight. When the dynamic brace sight came into the spotlight, this was actually a few years ago, and as bows got more and more parallel, the issue became apparent because when you draw a parallel bow like this one, your axles will go down and it will actually go closer to your hand. So your dynamic brace sight will actually shrink. Now, if you look at the more upright limb pocket bows, when your dynamic brace grow bigger as you draw the bow. To illustrate this further, just in a minute here, we're going to grab two bows and we're going to compare the two bows. The one is a little bit more parallel or over parallel than the other one. And then you'll see exactly what I mean by that. The other factors that influence your dynamic brace sight is your axle to axle, and then also your draw length also affects your dynamic brace sight. The largest effect on your dynamic brace sight is going to be your bow design. So overall, if it is over parallel, the more parallel it gets, and over parallel, the bigger the effect is going to be. Let's see how this works in practice. I've got two bows here. The one is parallel and the one is over parallel. So the first bow we have is the Darton sequel. This is your normal parallel limb bow. The second bow we have is the Mathews lift, and you'll see this one is actually over parallel and a very extreme parallel limb bow. You can actually see the difference in the two bows designs. Okay, so let's measure the static brace sight of the Darton. It's like a 6.3, just over 6.25. 6.3. All right, so I got it in the draw board here. All right, so what I do is I tie the piece of string onto the place where it runs off the cam, the string, and then I tie the bottom as well. And then you measure the distance from the grip to this piece of string. That's about 6 5/8. The dynamic brace sight is 6 5/8 of the Darton sequel. I'm quite surprised about that. Now let's check out the Mathews. We're going to have that at the brace sight is slightly under 116 under 6, so that is insignificant. So let's say Mathews lift 6 inches. Pardon. This is actually 5 inches. All right, so quite interesting enough, the Mathews actually shrunk by 1 inch because it was 5 inches, and this gives us 1 inch of shrinkage. And the Darton sequel actually increased by 0.325 of an inch. So I didn't expect that. I thought it will be where it also shrunk, I think, less, but I didn't think it's going to actually get bigger, which is a good thing. Okay, so let's see if my theory holds true. I'm going to predict that the Darton is actually going to be more torque resistance because of this. Okay, so first up is the Darton sequel. We're going to do a torque test on the sequel. Now, I've come up with this contraption. I've done this test in the past. It works quite well. So what I do is basically I've got a stabilizer on the bow. I've got it on full draw in the draw board. Then I've got a measuring stick that I've made here now. And that is basically an inch from there to there. Then I'm going to look from the top, and then I'm going to pull it with a scale until I get to the inch of torque on that portion of the stabilizer. And then I'm going to see what it reads on the scale. Now, the higher the number, the better in this instance. So let's test the Darton sequel, and then we're going to do the Mathews. I'm going to check it from the top. Okay, so it reads 1.61 of a pound. All right, so the Mathews, it's the same draw length, same let off. The axle to axle is just slightly shorter, which will have an effect, but it's not major. It's only a little bit more than an inch, and you can actually see how these limbs flex. It's unbelievable. Look at that. As they go back into your hand. All right, but let's do the test. I'm going to pull it an inch, the same as the Darton, and then we're going to see what the scale reads. Look at that. 049. That's actually unbelievable. You can actually feel how much easier this bow talks. I can just lightly touch it like this. Interesting fact. I'm not saying one is better than the other one. It's just something you have to consider. Just to wrap things up, I'm glad I did this test today. It was actually an eye-opener for me. Most of us know that the hunting bows of Darton actually do quite well on the circuit. Jacob Sluice just won the Lancaster Classic now, which was unbelievable. He shot very well. But I think there's merit in it. You know, the test I did today, the dynamic bracelet issue or factor. Let me know in the comments. Do you think it's an issue, or do you think I'm onto something? Am I not? Feel free to say anything you want. I won't be offended. And also, if you like this video, please like it. And then also subscribe to this channel. We're going to bring content like this in the future. And if you like this, you'll definitely like what we're going to bring out in the future. Until next time, guys, thank you for watching, and see you soon.